Parliamentary Group rejects in totality the move by the government of Uganda to maliciously exclude Akii Stadium from hosting AFCON 2027.
Rico Dabuni, Biemalutieni, Akibwa, Ageri Lao, James Lancy Quake in a Tunglam President Ruleno go away. Rico to Yomi Jorpe Yelon, one now Kakibwa, Wapel Gero, Boluquid Pay, Kale, Wapel Gero, we get a play. Akibwa, Wapel Gero, Boluquid Pay, Kale, Wapel Gero, we get a play.
Viewers, let's watch this video.
We were so surprised and disappointed that the permanent secretary and secretary to treasury had called off that there are still many issues to be sorted in the contract agreement that was cleared by the Solicitor General. We therefore want to ask government that whether we are going to use loans, whether we want a contractor to finance. What we want is that the contract for Akibwa is signed and construction starts. How do we move all the processes until even the old president has been called upon to witness and then the program is cancelled at the last minute? I think we are so disappointed. If there is anybody who is planning to sabotage the construction of Akibwa, we are calling upon the president to take this very seriously, because this is taking us back to square one.
At this juncture, we are demanding for a clear explanation why the signing of contract today, the 10th, was called off. Let government be clear if they are going to construct Akiva or they are not going to construct Akiva. Let them be clear so that people of Lao, people of northern Uganda, be rest assured.
There is God.
Speaker and honorable colleagues, first of all, I would like to begin by thanking Honorable Tonny Ayoo and the entire Gas House for following up on Akibwa construction project. It is true, I did invite colleagues for this ceremony for purpose of signing the contract for the construction of Akibwa Olympic Stadium in line with the budget which we had approved here of 100 billion. As National Council of Sports, we undertook the due process of the procurement for securing the contract. However, I was guided at the last minute, got a call from Minister of Finance, which requested me to allow them conclude on the financing model of this project, because they were looking at a process whereby we have 100 billion in the budget. The next financial year, we are going to have another 100 billion, and that was meant to be the 2 financial years. However, according to us, as the entity, we wanted this stadium to be constructed within 20 months. So within 20 months, if you look at the financing model, it would not, and that was a question finance raised to me, the money which was available, it would not be able to allow the completion of the stadium. So for that matter, I heed to the advice of the Minister of Finance and allowed them to have a negotiation with the contractor in terms of financing the completion of this project within 20 months. And they have promised to get back to me within the week's time so that we would come back in terms of signing the contract. So I want first confirm this, that what finance is doing entirely is to seek for additional way of getting resources so that when we begin the construction work, we have a smooth flow for the total completion of the project.
Honorable Minister, Finance.
Viewers, let's watch this video.
Madam Speaker, let me say it the way I want it to be heard. The budget for Akibwa Stadium is 100 billion shillings.
And there was a condition that this 100 billion will be released immediately as soon as the contract is signed by the National Council of Sports with the contractor. We are waiting. I am waiting for that contract, and I will release the money straight.
The pressure is getting. God have mercy upon us.
It's right. Because we budgeted for that money. We budgeted for that money, and the money is there for him. He's saying, I am waiting for you people to come. Yes, Tony.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I've got a concern and scared. Because from the presentation of the Minister, Honorable Peter Gwang, you would have hope that finance is reconsidering the financing model.
But from
the Minister of Finance, he's saying he's waiting for the signing of the contract. Then he releases the money. Right Honorable Speaker.
But you see, that's what takes you to back what Jonah asked one time. How was the contract procured? I remember what Jonathan asked. How was the contract procured? How much money are we paying for the construction? And those are things that we need to get to know.
But Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Finance presented the contract document to the Solicitor General. He went
of how
through
much?
Of $127.9 million. Yes. So the Solicitor General looked through the contract document and cleared and said, please go ahead, sign the contract. Government is going to commit to the contract to pay. Now, when the Minister of Education and National Council of Sports now invited the President and everybody ready to sign the contract, it is the Minister of Finance, Secretary to Treasury, PSST, that called for calling off the signing of the contract. Now, we expected the Minister of Finance to have a more clear position on this, but you can see it is still not clear. And yet, they are the ones who allowed the Solicitor General to clear the contract. So, can we know exactly from the Minister where the problem is? Because by this, you realize Minister of Finance is playing a game, and they are not going to allow Minister of Education to sign the contract because they have called off because of the financing model. So which financing model are you talking about?
Here, you see, I've been telling my people that the NRM does not honor its promises. So when the government said they were going to close Karumba, people called me and said, are they going to close it? I said, no, they never honor their promises. So eventually, when they closed Karumba, they asked me, so do you still maintain the position? I said, now they seem to be serious. They are beginning to honor their promises now that they have closed. That's the same position I'd thought about Akibwa. Now, the records of this house should show that the Honorable Minister of State, Peter Ogwang, presented a contractor way back in Ilango and said this is the contractor identified and ready to proceed. I am now surprised to hear that actually we don't have a contractor. By simple definition, a contractor is somebody you have contracted to do work. So in the absence of a contract between the two parties, you cannot purport to say we have a contractor at hand. It means you are still undertaking processes to identify the person to execute the works.
God have mercy upon us.